Kindergarten got first place.
Okay, I'd like to call the January 23rd, 2024 meeting to order of the Wall City Council. Carolyn, would you please read roll call?
Welsh,
Here.
Morgan,
Here.
Stan Anderson,
Here.
Houston,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Hawk,
Here.
Mike Anderson.
Here.
We do have a forum.
Yes, everybody's here. Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry, would you read it? Read it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any order of business for emergencies?
None.
Okay, and attendance on Zoom.
We have Katie, the chamber director.
Okay, and she's assisting in minutes.
Yes.
Does anyone have a conflict of interest on any of the items on the agenda tonight? Okay, seeing none, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the January 4th city council meeting. Those were sent out in the packet. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay, Dan has moved.
Second.
Jerry seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, also in the packet is the City of Wall claims, Fire Department claims, and library claims. Does anyone have any questions on any one of those items listed on the claim bills for the city, or the library, or for the fire department? A question that I had, I wondered why the fire department get $500 to Philip Quinn in New Underwood, or what is that?
It's from, they helped us with the fire on interstate with a semi truck fire, so.
Okay,
$500 of the money that we got.
okay, so you got paid because of the fire, you assisted at the fire, and then you reimbursed them. Okay, I understand better, thank you. Okay, with that, does anyone else have any question about any of the claims? Would I have a motion then to approve the City of Wall Fire Department and Library claims? Okay, Stan is moved. Second. And Kelly seconded. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving to the next item. You have been sent for your review the ambulance district report, and we may hear more about that shortly. Also included is the cash and money market balance document that's been provided for us to indicate our cash on hand and so forth, as well as the expense budget. Does anyone have any questions or items that they would like to point to for further information? Okay, seeing none, we will move on then to public comments. And this evening, we are graced with the presence of Annette Brandt. She is Pennington County Treasurer. You might recall that she took Janet Saylor's place when Janet stepped back. And so she actually is up for re-election this year because she completed that term. She was appointed to do so, and now she'll be running. So she's bringing us information, and she even mentioned us on the news today when she did a news interview. Wall City Council, that's what she mentioned, right?
Yes, correct. Council, good evening. I'm here tonight to just make sure that the area is aware that the senior citizen assessment freeze applications are available now. We don't have a whole lot that are coming from this district, so with our Wall satellite office just being open one day a month, I wanted to get in an extra month, for the folks to be able to apply for this if they wanted to. The deadline for it is April 1st. The applicants have to be 65 years of age or older by January 1st of 2024 or disabled by 2023. A single household income of $40,290 and a multiple income of $51,801. That is a jump from where it's been in the past. So if there are locals that have applied for it in the past and been denied because of their income, they should look at this again because it's gone up considerably, about $15,000 or $20,000 actually in the last couple of years. So the value of their home can't be assessed any more than $345,000. That also has gone up about $150,000 from years past. So again, it will benefit them to, if they had applied for it in the past and got denied, to please do look at the new figures now that the Department of Revenue has raised those two. The deadline to apply is April 1st, and the applications, I'm gonna leave some with Carolyn in her office. When the Wall Satellite is open on the first Wednesday of February, we'll have some there as well and be able to answer some questions if we need to. They can pick them up in the office in Rapid Monday through Thursday. Our office is closed on Fridays, but we are open Monday through Thursday at 7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. So they can pick them up there. It's on our website under the treasurer's office. Real estate frequently asked questions, number 12. If you go down on those, you can get the application off of that too. So it's just, what it does is if the applicant does qualify for it, it will establish a base year, the year that they became 65. Director of Equalization is gonna look back to the year, that base year, and use that assessed value to figure their taxes. So it can be a huge savings for somebody who just turned 65. It's not as big of a savings as it would be somebody that maybe is, 70 or 72 or whatever. So I'll be here for questions afterwards. Again, I'm going to leave some applications. I just want to make sure that we get as many applicants that want to apply for this in this area as possible.
So Annette, would you have that information kind of concisely put together? So perhaps we could put it on our website to help get people more aware of it, as well as our Facebook page?
Absolutely, yes. In fact, the applications are off of the Department of Revenue site, but we've gone one step further with the treasurer's offices where you submit them back to, and then we evaluate whether or not they qualify based on the information that they submit. So there's a cover letter on here from our office that tells exactly what forms they need to submit with it, when they need to submit it by, what the qualifications are. You can either just put that on there, or you can put the whole application, which is what we did on our website, the whole application, so that they can print it off and start doing their checkoff list, because they're gonna need their adjusted gross income for the amounts that are on there. What counts as their income is the adjusted gross income and any interest or dividends that aren't in that adjusted gross already, and their social security. So on the back side of the applications, I also put all of the laws that pertain to this, so that they can clearly see, what the Department of Revenue is going to be looking at as counting towards their income. It's not just what their federal income tax is. And the reason I like to get the word out soon is because April 15th is federal income tax filing. This is April 1st. So if people want to apply for this, they need to get their taxes done early so that they can submit it and get it in on time. Why those don't correlate, I don't know, but it is kind of a catch-22 for new applicants. So just trying to get the word out. So I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, and hopefully you can work in the next day or two with Carolyn and get that, so, because it could be beneficial for some of our residents.
Absolutely. I did come early tonight and we're already on it, so.
Okay,
but
perfect.
What she does with it, that's it, but yeah, that's,
Okay.
you're more than welcome to do that.
I know
Phenomenal.
you're there for questions though too, so.
Yes, okay.
Okay, very good. Okay, that brings us to item number 11. This was in your packet. And it is a concern about where the city is piling snow when they're trying to move snow and get the streets cleaned. I would like Garrett, if you would please, to perhaps address this. We've gotten pictures here to explain what the situation is and as well as a written complaint. So what can you tell us about why you stack snow where you do in this situation?
Okay, well, that's actually a city street where we put that snow. And it's just, it makes it easier for us to go there. And before, we've had complaints about it not getting moved and, you know, causing water damage. So as soon as that was brought forward, I mean, we're not moving it 2 days after it snows, but, you know, we're getting to it as soon as possible. And I like to have it cleared out of there before it even starts to thaw out, you know, because if it starts thawing out or whatever, then we have a really big mess, but yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but then the pile that's there has already been moved. And then the pile of the pitcher with the truck in it was us moving it off the parking lot over here that Wall Drug owns. And I had talked to this person, I said, you know, listen, I said, if there's an issue, you know, get a hold of me. I'll explain when we're gonna do it if I know, or why we're not doing it right now, you know, just so it doesn't have to come to you guys. You know, cause it can be handled between two people, you know, and they just insisted they were gonna file a complaint. And so in the packet Carolyn sent, I did a list of, you know, the streets that we clean first, and then what all we have to have cleaned before we can even start hauling it. And when I do that, when I consider how we haul it, I look at like traffic hazards. Is it on a corner? Is it so people can't see around, you know, the corner at the stop sign? Is it piled on the street? And so that's like our first priority is to move that. And the next goes to private property, or, you know, like the Wall Drug parking lots, the Catholic Church parking lot. Then we clear those out, and then we move on to our properties that the city owns where we pile it, so. And that is city property over there.
Okay, so,
I don't believe it had time to start nothing yet, had it?
No,
And I noticed in the complaint, he said that, how was it, last city council meeting, it said the snow would be removed one day after the snowstorm.
he wasn't.
This wasn't at the last, there's nothing mentioned in the last city council meeting about any of this.
So, yeah, and I contacted the person just because I'd asked him to call me and while I'm filing a complaint, I was like, well, that's fine, but I'm letting you know why it's not getting moved right away, so.
Carolyn, you did direct that individual to contact Garrett, correct?
Yes, after, so when he came in to get the complaint form, I reached out to Garrett because I didn't know where they were at in town. You know, I thought they might already be over there taking care of it. And, so Garrett said, well, when he brings the form back in, ask him to call me. And so I did. And
okay, so Garrett, okay, so it's a city street and and then it runs right along his property line.
Right.
Is there any issue as far as the city can see? Because, well, living in the country, if we had water running into our house, my husband would either dig a trench to direct that water one way or the other, or he would build some kind of a berm or landscape to move that water. Is there anything that would prevent that landowner from doing that himself to deter the water?
I suppose.
If he's worried about his property.
Yeah, I suppose if he wanted to, he could.
Okay, the city would have no issues with that. There's no ordinances or anything that said he couldn't do that. Okay,
And there shouldn't be an issue because we have it all the way.
right,
Well, as long as it follows the same path in which you want the
Right,
water to
on
go,
his-
which is to the east and then
Yeah.
hit the drainage and head north.
Yeah, and he also puts his snow from his driveway into there too, so he adds to it.
there is natural drainage to the east side of that house,
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
Or it could be directed to the street and then just go down the street,
Yeah, it'd be easier to go out the back, yeah.
Right.
The way it slopes.
so if he used a trench and digging that appropriately, and he could probably find somebody to help him figure that out, that could kind of take a lot of, because in the spring, if it rains really hard, first of all, some of this drainage comes all the way from the horse pasture, is that what you call that pasture back there? Yeah.
Yes.
From the horse pasture, it kind of comes all that way,
But a
but
lot,
it should go into that natural drainage.
Right. and it doesn't go into his yard through that drainage, you know, a lot of it, and I mean, maybe a little bit does, but it's so flat there that even when it runs off his yard, or you know, it melts in his yard, that's part of the issue too.
Backyard,
Yes, backyard.
yep, okay, all right,
So, but we get to it as soon as we can. And I think it was like
okay,
a day or 2 days after he filed the complaint. but-
So the first big pile is gone, this is the second pile.
Yep.
That came with the
Yeah.
second, so.
And then, you know, sometimes that's not even our snow in there. There's other people that do snow removal per people and pile it there
Right.
too, which I don't care, it's better than pushed out in the street where we gotta, you know, take care of it, but it might not be the day after, 2 days after, but we do get it moved.
okay. Any other questions or thoughts?
My only thought is it looks like he's just being on, because you're in the drugstore parking lot cleaning
Could have
the
been.
pile of snow.
But
And
he
then
has
I-
a legitimate answer for that.
Yeah, no, and when I talked to him, I told him the reason we're there is because we piled that snow there. It's not our property, and we like to get it off as soon as possible.
Did he understand when you said it's not our property?
He didn't really listen to me. All he said was, it's my right to file a complaint, so I'm filing a complaint. I said, that's fine. I said, I just wanted to explain to you why your snow isn't getting moved.
Well, and he's asking the city to quit piling snow next to my property.
And the other point, Kelly, here is, this is my 4th year. If I've got that problem for 4 years,
Exactly,
I might have-
exactly.
or I wouldn't do it, but I know someone in our household that would have had that taken care of. So, okay.
No.
any other comments or directives? All right,
Is there a way you can get it before you get some of the other?
He's got that, no, he's got his list, he's got his priorities.
I do it, you know,
I
same.
know you've offered, no, leave your snow where you push it at our place, we have about that. so,
Yeah,
I mean, we're not, you just work with it, snow, snow, and then
yeah, but like I said, I told him, I said, it's still freezing out. It's not melting, it's not gonna do anything until.
It was 20 below.
And I went over there today and it's still a sheet of ice there. It's,
but if it's an
Really not.
April snowstorm,
oh, yeah,
then it does melt a little sooner,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you're on it.
right.
You've indicated you're on it, so, okay. All right, moving on to item 12, ambulance report. Lilia, good evening. You ladies in your red plaid are just amazing back there, by the
You
way.
didn't get it, mama?
Oh, I missed it.
I did, yeah.
I'm colorblind.
My gosh, we got a whole lot of plaid going on around here.
Got the memo, just the wrong color.
Anyway, welcome, Lily.
Well, I can tell you, I got a year under my belt with Wellington, so. It's been dramatic, challenging. But overall, it was a good year. Anyway,
It's still going, Lily, you still got
the
it
new
going.
year.
Yep.
We actually doing much better than we did last year in January. So I'm just gonna bring you some statistics for the year 2023. The total calls for 2023 we received was 159. Compared to 2022 was not 197, so 20% down. It does hurt a little our revenue, of course, when we receive less calls. Out of these 159 calls, we transported 95, and this is the actual number we can bill for. I did a little bit of comparison of where the calls go to between city, county, and I-90. So city takes about 60% of the calls. 25% of the calls go to the county. I'm sorry, country, in the country. And we get about 15% of calls going to the I-90. So you can see where our area,
What's the interstate percentage?
15.
15, okay, thank you.
So the total revenue for the last year, which is, when I talk about the revenue, that means the money we got from the city was $96,000. We did cash out our CD accounts at the bank. I think it was about $50,000. Donations, grants, and revenue from the calls as well. So the total of this revenue was about $438,000. And total expenses for the last year was $384,000. The biggest expense, of course, is our payroll, which is 72% of our revenue, about $280,000. I just want to make a note that our payroll for 2022 was, I can't remember, I think it was about 330 or 340. So we were down to 280. It's just trying to make it work, but we did. I looked also, as you remember last year, about a year ago, I was standing here asking you for money because we started last year with, I want to say it was negative $139,000. We pretty much were in crisis at that time, you remember. As of today, I can tell you we ended the year 2023 with positive amount, which was $44,000. So we're moving in the right directions. I also look at the billing history since 2015. And just so you can kind of get a number of from what we bill and what we get back from this billing. So since 2015, we've billed out about $1.1 million, 8 years, so it's total. And we collected out of this 1.1 million, we collected $697,000. So it's about 59%. We do have to make adjustments, and adjustments normally about, I want to say it's about 22% we do adjustments, which is sometimes we have to settle for the amount that's less than was billed. So anyway, I just wanted you to see what we bill and what we get back actually, because a lot of goes to the collections, which is the amount was assigned to express collections was $161,000 within 8 years. And this is the funny number they collected only 13% of it that was assigned to the express collections over 8 years. So what goes to the collections, it's pretty much we don't get hardly anything back. We still have outstanding balance with express collections, it's $139,000. So I'm just giving you numbers so you can get an idea how we operate and what kind of money we get, and just the number of calls is very important because we just get about 60% back out of what we can bill. So we want to have more calls. Right now, I just want to give you a little update. We do have, I don't want to, but things looks pretty positive. It's pretty bright right now from a year ago. We have, we're pretty much fully staffed right now. We have about 12 active medics, full-time and part-time employees who's in our roster. We have 3 volunteer dedicated drivers that drive for us. They fill in when we need them. And we have on our roster as well paid drivers. If we need them, we use them. They're not, we would call this as needed people. But our roster looks pretty good. As for right now, we are raising money actually for Lucas. It's a CPR device. We do have one right now in our first ambulance. We wanna put another one in the second ambulance, so Linda Eisenbrown in charge of it, so she's doing a fundraiser for this. She's raising money. We applied for grants as well, so that's our goal, to get a CPR device in our second ambulance. Okay, the goal actually to raise between $18,000 to $21,000. It's pretty expensive. The next thing, we're gonna have an annual meeting on March 12th. We also have one board position for up for election. Zach Hoffman, he already indicated he's gonna rerun. But petition's gonna be available at the city office. I'm gonna work with Caroline on it. Starting Monday, next week, January 29th. And the deadline to submit the petitions will be February 16th, it's Friday. Okay. Another thing, we still don't have a permanent director. As you guys know, we hired a consultant. You've met him, I don't know if all of you, but. And he's done a very good job for us. He got our operations in the right direction. So last year we ran our crew with pretty much most of the time it was only one EMT on the shift with a volunteer driver. We didn't have enough people at that time to work. It wasn't ideal and we had calls that we actually needed 2 people, but we made it work and I'm very grateful our crew went along with this. We're doing better this year. We pretty much, I don't want to say every single shift, but we have, most of the time we have 2 medics on call right now. Our goal for this year, so the last year goal was to get our operations going in the right direction, which is we're gonna continue improving it, and goal for this year, 2024, we're gonna focus on our personnel, our living quarters. And I guess this is about it. I think it's enough. Another thing we're planning to do this year, working with consultant, we're gonna try to work on director role, because we just need to figure out what we want our director to do, and if it's gonna be full-time or part-time. But that's another goal for this year as well. And that's all I had, unless you guys have any questions for me.
What kind of, do you know what kind of fundraising Linda's doing?
So I think she's just gonna go pretty much door to door. I think she's just talking to people, that's what the goal is.
Okay.
So that's what she's doing. Yeah. Anything else? Okay,
Thank you.
go ahead, thank you.
Thank you, Lily, for keeping that on its wheels. And I also want to commend Dan and Mike for when you had to kind of step in there and take action and hold things together. And we appreciate your contributions to that situation too. But Lily, you've done an amazing job and thank you. Anyone that needs an ambulance is very appreciative of what you've done, for sure. Okay, so that brings us to item number 13. Did we hear back from her? Was she planning on being here?
She didn't answer my email, so.
Okay, so we don't know. No answer. Okay, so that brings us then to item number 14, which is a resolution 24-3. And it's loan for 4th Avenue project. And Carolyn, would you like to talk a bit about that?
So we had approved back in August, when we were working on the budget, a resolution similar to this for the Red Lake loan. It's a required document when you get a loan. We've had to supply the bank with them as well. And it's just affirming that the council is agreeing to take this loan. So basically, that's what the verbiage is including in that. And so this is for the READ fund that we have, applied for, and did actually get, information this morning in an email that, the application was approved by West River Electric at their board meeting this night, so.
So
We
huge
do have
deal.
that, so.
Does this push us over the top as far as getting it done and not having to seek other funds?
Well, I have reached out to the local, bank as well, and they're looking too. I mean, we want to keep our options open for the best interest rate that we can get.
And it's still possible we could get the zero interest money.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, the application for the red leg is still sitting there, but that's federal dollars that,
But this is for sure.
Right.
Oh, man, so thank you, West River Electric Board of Directors, and thanks to the gal that kind of helped us with the Read Fund, that helped us get that application kind of moved along in a very timely fashion. So this resolution just simply says that the city of Wall shall approve a 20-year loan for $2 million through the Read Fund. And so
Is there an interest rate with this loan?
it is, you know, I don't know where we might be with that at this time until they get the promissory note, I believe, put together, but it's kind of a staggered interest rate. The first 300,000 is at whatever percentage, and then the overall blended rate was like at 6%, so.
it's a very,
That's good.
but we got it. That's the bottom line.
That's
So
awesome.
you need a motion for the, to approve the
Yes,
resolution.
please.
So move we, approve resolution 24-03 loan for Fourth Avenue in the amount of
Okay,
$2 million.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, item number 15. This last week, Carolyn and I met with, law enforcement. It was called by, the Lieutenant Kenrick and Sergeant Amanda Swanson. And she just they wanted to visit with us about the chain of command. And she even provided me with a picture and what their job description is. So our chain of command, or their chain of command, is Chief Deputy Hughes. He oversees the law enforcement division and the patrol. And then it's Captain Wood, and he's the patrol captain. And then Lieutenant Casey Kenrick is the patrol lieutenant. And then it's Deputy Swanson. So that's the chain of command that they follow. And she sent me pictures, so we can even put pictures or faces with names. That's helpful. So that's what they talked about, first of all. Secondly, they talked about that there will be 2 new deputies that are right now going through the hiring and training process. And they have done some specified special recruitment in hopes that if they move here, they might stay here. Because we've got one that's been very dedicated and committed here, but some of the other ones kind of come for a while and then they go. But they're really working on people that understand what living in Wall is all about, especially the part about you can't just run to Walmart at 11 o'clock at night to get pancake mix. But I clarified all that, and I said they could go next door and get pancake mix in Wall. And that kind of caused a conversation in the office. I don't get that, but anyway, that's what happens in Wall. Or like two drips of mint flavoring, that happens to me. Anyway, they're very interested in the apartment and intend to lease that from us. And Carolyn and Katie are working on a lease agreement and will have it to us soon, probably by the next meeting. But they're working through that process. And they didn't seem to flinch at the fact that because we provide, utilities, because they provide the deputy with, living, dollars here in Wall, that us asking a little bit more than what we did in the past wasn't a problem. Okay, so that was what that conversation was about. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock is our rescheduled Prairie Village meeting. It got canceled, postponed last week due to the horrible weather and a conflict of a main participant. So it's tomorrow here at 10 o'clock. And so the concerns that we talked about at a previous meeting will be addressed. First of all, starting with fire alarms, concern about the residents, parking, those are the items that are on the agenda. So that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So Mike, we are so glad you got back from Cabo in time. So, oops, that's a scrunchy look. Okay,
I'm glad to be back.
yeah, good. We're glad to have you back.
You just had all the relaxation time you could deal with, right?
I was happy I missed the cold, but I was ready to come.
I worried about your house while you were gone, for sure. Okay,
Will, the fire department be, Garrett or Jim be there?
Jerome Harvey and Garrett.
And Garrett, okay.
Yes,
good.
law enforcement is going to attend. They have committed. I have spoken to the people that move snow over there and they have expressed their concerns and I will share that with the group. So, yeah.
Good.
All right, so then, planning and zoning will be meeting February 5th at 8 o'clock in the morning to consider a rezoning request, and that's been published in the paper. Because you have to do that when you have a rezoning request. And then we have more action going on in Kelly Avenue Extension. For those of you that don't drive that route very often, but we have a foundation that's been well, the dirt moved around it in the last few days. Those poor guys, they poured cement in really cold weather, but they got it done. And it appears that there might be another governor's home on its way, because I'm noticing that equipment moved from this lot over to this lot, which is a governor's home. The permit has already been established and there's only one reason they'd be keeping that equipment there. The governor's home was supposed to be here by January 1st. They kind of missed that date, but maybe they got a call that said, okay, in 2 days, you're gonna have a governor's home. That's how that works. Main thing about that is there were 7 lots available out there. 5 of them are sold. So there's only 2 more lots. And one, I think, is under conversation at the moment. So that's how fast that $180,000 that we invested on Kelly Avenue to extend it. And then you turn the corner and we did about another $180,000 investment. It's getting us results that will last for like 50 years and bring us dollars back in terms of property revenues. And bringing young people to town, that's what's really fun, isn't it, Mike, to see those young people living out there. Okay, so that's all I have for a mayor's report. Let's move on to the finance officer report, please.
As I had mentioned at the last meeting about the legislative rib supper that will be here on February 6th. I had said I would need to know at this meeting if anybody else planned to go. Mary indicated she would be attending, and I will because I have a board meeting earlier in the day. Is there anyone else planned to attend that I can get you registered for? Okay.
And you won't fly back from Arizona for that. You're gonna skip it miss it this time? Okay, I get
You
it.
can bring the ribs back if you want.
Yeah, they are pretty marvelous, I must say.
And then I've just been working on year-end things. As you can see, I got your W-2s ready for you and getting all my old files boxed up and ready for the new files. And then I have had some training this week on the new utility software, getting all the names put into the utility accounts. So moving ahead on that. And then just wanted to remind everybody that beginning Friday, the 26th, you can start circulating petitions.
Okay,
And that's all I have.
February 26th. Okay. All right. Any questions for Carolyn then? From her report? All right. Garrett, what would you like to visit with us on Public Works?
I looked into the exit signs. And so by Cedar Butte, and I can't remember how far down there, it says wall next to exits. And so then we have the Fourth Avenue exit and then the Glen Street exit. And as I was going to Rapid 2, it also had, they have a sign that says Rapid City next. I think it's like 5 exits or 4 exits. And so that's how they handle it now.
So it's legit.
Yeah. Not just
I
us.
don't like that.
Still kind of weird.
We'll take a lift out there and you can spray paint wall on there, you know.
I would.
Oh, no, let's not do that. No. Somebody's gonna get in trouble. I don't know.
Take pictures.
But they came in and last time just plastered up wall. If somebody, cause that isn't a very big sign that says wall next so many exits, is it?
It's the same size as the other ones.
Is it?
It's big, yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice if they, even if, I can see why they say Fourth Avenue, or what does the one on exit 110 say?
Glen.
Glen Street, yeah.
I mean, if it said exit 110, Glen Street, wall. So, I mean, why couldn't it say all 3?
Are they planning on having another meeting about the exits?
I haven't heard when that might
Or-
be scheduled.
That might be
Yeah,
a good
it's too
time to
bad.
bring that up to that Mark Carlson and those guys that are there.
Yeah, I don't know the guys, the people that were at this meeting that we,
Actually, we got a follow-up email like today or yesterday,
Yes.
and they do have another meeting scheduled. Did you read it? It was like the bottom line. Do you
I
remember?
didn't get to the bottom line.
Oh, well, there's the problem.
Sorry.
It is, there's a bottom line and there is another meeting, and I'm sorry that I can't make that stick with me, but.
So yeah, that would be a good time where you have all of them there to ask them to explain
Yeah.
why, I guess.
Yeah,
Cause they said every town that has more than one exit, that's how they do it.
all right. Okay, well,
Thank you for
very
doing that.
acute attention, Kelly, to even notice that until you said it.
Believe me, I was surprised too when I saw it.
Well, I can't believe how many times I've driven that and never once been noticed that, so good job.
Well, it says in that letter that, you mean the one that came from that Aaron Cook?
Yeah, look, way down the bottom.
Well, it just says, please find the summary of the meeting
Yeah.
attached. If you have any changes to the summary, please let me know by January 30th.
Yeah,
If you have further questions on the study, please do not hesitate to contact me. It just says Aaron Cook.
what about the attachment? Was there something on the attachment? I'll have to take a look on my email again. I just have that with me.
2 public meetings will be held for the project. First is anticipated towards the end of February, and the second in late May.
There you go.
It says that in that letter?
Next steps. Or at the bottom, next steps. And then it's the second one. That's maybe you're looking at it.
No, that is what it said, yes. Thank you, Dan. I thought I was making that up. So okay. So end of February,
Today.
we don't want to miss that. That's for darn sure.
I would think they'd send out another email.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
pass that on.
But we certainly need to get some people alerted on those exits that they're looking on, are looking at. They better get their input made, so. Have we made any attempt to, the people on that committee, would it be an appropriate thing to make an attempt to alert those people that live on those exits, that there's some stuff cooking here that might affect you big time?
I visited with one just this afternoon and they seem to be completely aware of it. Somebody has notified them, whether it's the state or whatever.
Okay,
I don't know about the people on the north side of the road down here at Crooked. I have
Jensen
not
Road.
heard. At Jensen Road, we'll just
Mhm.
call it.
So they did have a meeting here. And I assume it was, I didn't know for sure what it was, but there were all kinds of people, like Shells were here.
They must have notified them.
Yeah,
Just recently.
Carolyn,
yeah, Katie.
that I actually asked that woman that was about something else.
It was, oh,
Yeah, that was about their tax assessments.
okay,
But I apologize because I told you that, so I was wrong.
that's fine, thank you for clarifying.
Yep.
Hey, I don't think we got it.
They need to be aware of it. I mean, some of them people are gonna have to drive to Wasta and then come back to unless they go up that gravel road to Anderson Hill and they're not
Yeah.
gonna wanna do that. bridge.
There's nothing good about that, so. So can you make a note, Carolyn, that somehow we've got to reach out to those people? We know something like that, we've got to share that. Okay, anything,
Did someone email me that? I didn't get that letter. Or am I not supposed to be on that?
No, unless I,
I think it went to all the county. Carolyn
Yeah.
sent it out.
Okay.
okay, and maybe, so I had to create my
Yeah,
address
it
book
says you
again?
got it.
Jerry will have
I
to.
think you're there.
That doesn't mean that
It was sent.
I was sick. I just can't find it.
Okay, we'll make sure that it, did you? No,
Oh.
we'll get it.
I will
Yes.
check my address thing, to
It's
make sure.
right. I don't know what.
Well, I know, but I somehow put Dan's in wrong, and I gotta get
Okay.
it clarified. 'Cause It keeps popping back at me and.
We're asking so many questions.
No,
It's
that's-
challenging when you have to rebuild that from
I know.
scratch.
Yeah.
Oh my
hate it.
gosh. Okay, moving on then. Oh, you're not done?
No.
Speak right up
We
here.
can though, but anyways, we're gonna have to look into another source of heat for the shop and the fire hall. There's 2 electric heaters on the fire department side and there's 3 electric heaters on the city side and only 2 of them work. And Jim went to the fire hall, must have been last Saturday when it was so cold and it was 40 degrees in there. And so, and we have a wood stove, but we only fire that up when we're there. When we're working and you can fill, I mean, you don't want it too full, but if you fill it, it only lasts about an hour. And, you know, it's burned out and I think the heat from that probably lasts another half an hour. But, we've looked into like a pellet stove, we've looked into a propane. And I think we decided on a fuel oil furnace, because where the wood stove is, it's all got all the duct work, it's got a fan, it's got a blower, it's got everything, so we just have to take the wood stove out, put that furnace in, and get a fuel tank, and we're good to go there. And if we did propane, we don't have any property that we can put it, we'd have to put it behind the Stratton building and trench it all the way through the alley and over there, but I just think the fuel oil, we can keep the tank right inside. And we can use it. And another thing that we thought would be pretty beneficial to it is if the power goes out, we don't have any way to get fuel. We have to go over, we've like rigged up, like the pumps are attached to a light switch, and so we rigged it up and put a plug-in on it and plugged it into a generator so we could fuel up our equipment. And so this is a way that we could probably, you know, if we do need diesel or something, it would be inside and we could get diesel that way. And so, and it's about 5,200 for the furnace installed. And then we've been talking to Alvin, you know, and he retired and he has a fuel tank down there on skids that he's said he'd be willing to sell. I haven't come up with a price, but
And that would be fuel oil,
yeah.
but and why fuel oil? Just,
It's just diesel, it's just so, like I said, if we did propane, we don't have anywhere to put a propane tank
oh,
there, so. And it burns a lot hotter. I think, what did he say? It's like 140,000 or 160,000.
It burns slower too.
And it's just, you know, if those heaters would quit, our fire trucks would be froze up, or, you know, it would just be,
Well, those heaters are 1978.
that's what we were trying to
The
figure out.
electric ones,
Yeah.
and there's 5 of them and only 2 work.
4 work,
4 work.
two on the fire department side and 2 on the city shop side. So, and I
Those
think it's
heaters
gonna,
gotta be terribly inefficient.
oh, yeah.
Any thoughts of replacing some of the electric?
Then we talked to Quincy and he
Yeah.
said they're not efficient and it's just pretty much a waste of money. If you can put a heater in, then that's the way
It's gonna
to
be
go.
better.
And they're
Okay.
3-phase, so like if the power goes out, you know, that generator's trying to keep up with all the lights and everything that we have going in there, plus, you know, 4 3-phase heaters. And I think it's just, like, I don't know what the electric bill runs for that building, but it's gotta be pretty outrageous in the winter time. And I think it'll save quite a bit. And so it'd be a 50-50 with the fire department and
And,
the city wall.
your fuel oil, like when you open the doors and move equipment in and out, your recovery will be so much faster. Electric heat takes forever to recover.
And when those heaters run, if we don't have the wood stove going, they run 24 hours a day. Those electric heaters do, so. We had a meeting, special fire department meeting on Sunday to approve this. And so they were good with that, and so I think it's amount that Mary can approve from her hand, so.
So my question to you, Carolyn, would be, have we got like 25 or $2,700 in that budget item
So
over there?
that's another thing I was gonna get at.
Okay,
The 1-ton pickup that I was gonna buy that I had surplus save me, they only save it for 60 days, so it's sold.
okay.
So we can use that money from the pickup for that.
Anybody see a problem with that?
Will you be splitting the cost of the fuel then with the fire department?
Yeah, we just decided we'll go 50-50 every tank that way.
So the current heaters in there are electric, is
Mhm.
that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah, the electric bill is pretty expensive, so.
That'd be number 1 or 2.
We could use number 2, I don't know if
If
they
it's
keep any,
inside, you would be.
Yeah.
able to keep 2.
I don't know how much they keep on hand in the winter time if they keep number 2, but. I mean, you could get us filled in the spring and I think Alvin said that tank's a 300-gallon tank, so I mean.
So that'll be interesting if we transfer the electric bill to that fuel, it might be close.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's gonna say.
okay, that sounds good then.
So, and then,
See that money that you're not gonna be spending for that next 1 ton that comes up in surplus.
right. So, and then Trevor and Gary are in, water class this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be taking an exam on Thursday, and I do believe it'll be Trevor's final certificate, so he'll have all 4 of his. And I think
Wow.
Gary's second one. So
That's
he's-
awesome.
He's pretty aggressive with it, and he's done a good job of getting it done. And other than that, just moving snow, and doing a little housekeeping and we're painting over at the police station.
Oh, yes, and that looks wonderful.
We still,
Have
got-
any of you been to the deputy's office lately? You gotta stop in and see what
we
Gary
gotta
did.
finish it though.
Oh, well, okay.
Try to stay out of there.
Well, when you go in there, you can see now.
Yeah.
It's not dark and dreary.
So now I'm done.
Now you're done?
I'm done.
All right. For sure. Okay, so that brings us to item 18, items for discussion. No action will be taken, but Carolyn, I think you have an item you want to talk about.
Yes, I did include an email, well, I received a call this morning from, I gotta find it to find out what his name was. Oh, yeah. Christopher Cudmore. He was asking about grading the access road to the old Walltown Bank. And so you can read the email for yourself. It would be the Game Fish and Parks project to do some minor road grading, he said, at no cost to the city, and then add some gravel to access the trail. And so I think I just need a consensus that you guys are okay with these guys moving forward with this. Like I told him when I talked to him, I said, if you can send it in an email so that I can share it with all of them in the same language. Because I'm not the decision maker, so.
Well, that sure sounds like a wonderful deal for us and greatly appreciated.
Yeah, we normally blade it about once a year. I mean, it doesn't get that much traffic, and I'm pretty sure it's been a couple of years since we've done it, so. And I thought maybe we could work with them if they wanna bring the gravel, then we can blade it and lay it down for them, or just, work with them, so.
So is this road on the section line?
Mhm.
No? Where's this road at?
The west of the section.
So it's one we looked at.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, the road really isn't on the section.
It's on our land,
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay? No private land?
No.
No section line? Our land, okay, good to know.
So yeah, I thought we could work together. I tried to call him today, and he didn't answer, so.
Boy, that'd be fantastic.
So, do we have a consensus then for Garrett to move ahead and work with Chris Cudmore to I don't wanna say develop, but improve the road to Old Wall Dam? Do I have a consensus?
Yep.
So, yes, Kelly, Jerry, Stan, Rick, Dan, and Mike. Okay, Katie, every one of our council members indicated they were, we have a consensus, the whole council, to work with Game Fish and Parks and Chris Cudmore on the road to Old Wall Dam. Anything more that has to be done for you, Garrett, on that?
I don't think so.
No? Carolyn, you can think, okay.
That's all I needed.
All right, item number 19, next city council meeting will be February 1st at 6:30 PM. And we do have a need for executive session this evening, so I could have a motion.
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session, to discuss legal personnel issues according to SDCL 1-25-2.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Nick. Kelly has seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. I'll call the executive session out of order. Are there any motions regarding the next agenda item, which is other? Is there any motions that need to come forward?
I make a motion that we send a letter to Attorney Haig thanking him for his service, that the lawsuit has been settled and we don't need services anymore.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
And Kelly has seconded. Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.
Could you remind me of that?